Hello everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Weather News WNHON show. We are back again. It has been another... Oh wow, okay. And we are back with another episode of the show. It has been what feels like sort of a long week, I guess. A little bit. If you haven't watched the last episode of the Weather News WNHON show, we reacted to more Kamen Rider. No Super Sentai last time, but it was just Kamen Rider. And it got 1,000 views, so thank you all for watching the video. Didn't expect it to get that many in that short amount of time. But it did. And y'all were telling us that the video we reacted to was the wrong video. It was the worst video, not the wrong video, the worst video.
We did not know.
But, you know, it is what it is. If you can tell by the title, we are not doing Kamen Rider or Super Sentai today. I know, boo, you can hate all you want. We did talk about this in the last couple of episodes, so we can't say that we didn't warn y'all. There will be another episode next week of us reacting to more Kamen Rider and Super Sentai, so look out for that. Because as of right now, as of this recording, it is in the lead with like 70-something% of the vote, I think.
Heck yeah.
Yeah, which is usually the case when it comes to all that stuff.
We like watching Kuga.
Yeah, and yeah, as people have slowly begun to realize that we like watching it.
Somebody stood up for us the other day.
Yeah, it was the comments are a very interesting place. So,
Still don't care.
Yeah, who cares? Today is going to be a very different video. We talked about how we are going to do a Renaissance Fair episode. Me and Dawson and Katelynn and Alyssa went to the Georgia State Renaissance Festival. And I got footage from it, and we'll show that in just a few minutes of the little vlog that I did. I didn't film much, but
no,
I got whatever I could. There's also be pictures that Katelynn took. She sent me some pictures. And you probably have seen the thumbnail where all four of us are in the shot. That's what we looked like at the Renaissance Fair. Dawson has been to many Renaissance festivals, and he'll get to share his share his experiences of those Renaissance fairs in this episode today. And we will also talk about film ideas that we have come up with and talked about over the last 10 years that are set in medieval times, because that is the theme of the video. And also talk about the one medieval film that we did, and that was A Day of Prayer. We might react to that one in the future. Who knows? We haven't reacted to a film in quite some time, so who knows? On the off chance that we want to do another episode that's not reacting to Kamen Rider, we might react to a film. Yeah, so look out for that. We are still working on trying to do more films. We've been talking about doing more stuff, so look out for that as well. We know it's been 7 months since we've done a film on this channel. We've mostly been focusing on the show, which we like to do. Yeah. But we are trying to get back into doing that eventually at some point. We're gonna jump right into this. Just giving y'all a little update before we get started. What did you think about the Georgia State Renaissance? The time that we went last weekend. We'll save most of it for after the vlog part, but just like a short, how you felt.
Gay. I'm just kidding. No, it was of course when we went, it was the first day of Rainbow Month.
Oh yeah. I was like, where are you going with that?
There was a lot of...
It was also the last weekend of the Renaissance Festival.
It was crowded. It was very crowded. I don't think I've ever been to a Ren Fair that was that crowded.
I think it's the most people I've seen
in
an area.
It was a lot of people. Usually, whenever I go, there's still a crowd, but the place was packed. You could barely get around in some places. But, we had a good time. We only stayed for about 2 hours. Yeah. One of the we could have stayed longer, but we got there about 2 hours late.
Yeah.
Also, because we were in traffic for 2 hours.
We should have got a picture of that.
Yeah. Oh my gosh,
Yeah,
we were in
crazy.
standstill traffic for 2 hours
On a single road
Yeah.
that easily could have just go down it, and then you take a right, and then you're there.
It was insane. So, and then when we were there for the 2 hours, it was super crowded, so we didn't get to do a whole lot except for kind of walk around, see some things. We didn't get to see a lot of things because there were so many people there.
Yeah. The lines were very long, so you couldn't do anything.
There was one point in time that we all just kind of stayed. We sat, or not really sat, but we standed up in like a little section, and we like people watched.
Yeah, there's a shot that I got of us doing
for about 30 minutes or so, about 30 minutes to an hour. And then we left, and we went on the ride home. And we ate
Jersey Mike's.
Jersey Mike's.
Yeah, Jersey Mike's is great. I know that Alyssa wanted me to film that mushroom hat lady. And she saw me. So we did get caught. Or I got caught. It's whatever. But I thought it was funny because she was like, yeah, you should film that. And I turned around and she's right there. And y'all, y'all will see that in just a few minutes. But, or actually, we'll take it to you right now. This is probably not going to be very long. I took about like 20 or so clips of the Ren Fair, basically, of our vlog there. But we'll explain what we're dressed up as and all that junk. There's going to be a lot of night fighting. That's most of the footage I got a lot of was night fighting. Yeah, it's just a lot of different things that you'll get to see in this little vlog. So, here we go. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the vlog portion of the show. This is the second time we've done this. We did this in a Walmart the other time. But now, as you can tell, we're going to the Georgia Ren Fair. And we're gonna get some clips. How do you feel, Dawson?
Another day.
Another day. Yeah, we got Katelynn and Alyssa with us. There they are. Yeah. We're about to head on in there. We'll get some shots and stuff. And by the end of it, we might actually have names for the people that we are dressing up as. It'll be a little fun. We might talk about that later. Katelynn,
Saying that she wants to go somewhere where the elf.
tell us what you are.
Elf.
Elf. Alyssa?
Wizard? Yeah.
She's still trying to figure it out. She doesn't even know.
I don't.
And Dawson?
I'm Scottish.
Yep. You can't tell. Yeah, if you can't tell by the kilt there. And I'm a dude.
You're a pirate.
Yeah, I'm a pirate. Yeah, I dressed up like this in a vlog that we did a long time ago. So.
It's my family's kilt.
Yes.
Yeah. We tried to do that. We talked about it in the show last week. We tried to do this last week.
Yeah.
And it didn't happen.
It rained.
Yeah. But we're here now.
Everybody is here because it rained like.
Yeah. And now we're gonna see what happens. For sure. We found some tabletop D&D dice rollers. All the different colors.
As the great philosopher said, stay strapped or get clapped, you see. Aye, indeed.
You've got all kinds of options.
Aye, indeed, I do. Aye, exactly, Max, exactly. That's all I gotta do. Aye.
Can you explain to us, girls, what we're looking at?
Dice towers.
Dice towers?
You got a bottom holder, and then you got some bookends and booknotes.
Yeah. And then Alyssa wanted me to record that mushroom lady.
Because it's so cool.
Yeah, mushroom lady.
Oh, she's here.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah. You wanted that.
I did.
You wanted that. I got it.
This is what Dawson wants to do.
Oh.
Very bad.
I'll show trees pretty far. There are seats. Like, we can get seats. Where they run on horses. There's we're gonna like the whole game thing where we'd all go.
I forget how zoomed in I can make this. Right in the head.
One of them had a mallet right to the head.
Jesus Louise. That dude's just trying to chop his head off. That's literally just trying to cut his head off.
This is the best show.
He looks like the guy from Game of Thrones. Or Finn Jones's character.
You gotta get the peacock ones.
I picked the right one.
What does it look like?
Some of y'all did not polish your
Why are they fighting?
If he's walking, like he's walking this direction, and she goes, he's coming this way.
Better catch Alyssa, she might pass out.
He's tired.
Well, I mean, he just got hit in the head like a billion times. He just got hit a bunch of times in the head. That'd be cool if they added like explosions. Oh my goodness. Oh my lord. That dude's like, I quit.
Into the ground. I think that's what they're trying to do.
Yeah, I'd stay there too.
Once they're down, they can't get up.
Yeah. That's smart.
Oh.
Yeah, it's like jousting with the foam things. So you fall off.
They don't make it. I'll just have to dug it.
I'd hate to be the guy who got tackled first. He tripped. He tripped.
sure they're fighting for Oh, yeah.
Oh! Down.
Honestly, I feel like it's going to be
Yes. So,
Get in there!
They're not giving up. They're not giving up. Now he's using his fists.
Step in, ref. Come on. What was that, ref?
are you sure you don't want to drive for 3 hours? I would love this. I would love this to be my weekly, like, weekend thing.
I think these guys have beef with each other. They got right in each other's face and like, don't mess with me, son. I honestly am thinking I need to watch this back and put like memes over this. Dong.
None of them have an iron skillet.
MMA style.
You know what fight with the
Sorry?
These guys do this on there?
We just witnessed some epic battles. What'd you think about those?
I like them.
Yeah.
I always love watching them.
I feel like everybody would have concussions or getting their ringing of ears. So
I want to join them.
just imagine everybody out there, Dawson fighting in one of those jousting sessions. We've lost the girls now.
They're gone.
They're in there somewhere.
They've done disappeared.
We've got there's so much stuff here. I legit thought, I was telling Dawson, I legit thought that I was me recording fighting stuff the whole time. Just for the segment.
Just for the segment.
And that's
There's
it.
a bunch of other stuff that's just kind of...
It's just so much stuff. There's so much. I'll tell you one thing. I'll probably say this in the episode itself, but I am very much out of my element. Very much out of my element. I've only been to one other one of these, and that was in Helen. We didn't film that one. We'll probably put pictures of that in the video later. But yeah, Dawson's on a journey to find a kilt. I think he found one. It looks like. Yeah, girls went off somewhere. I think they went to the bathroom, I'm not sure, but look at all these people. So many people. You get to see some pretty outlandish creatures out here. Well, I won't even call them creatures, people. They're very outlandish individuals. But yeah, stick around. A lot more cool stuff to come. Yeah, you know, I don't think that's accurate, Dawson. A lightsaber? They got a lightsaber in medieval times.
thought the same thing. They went
Oh wow. Wow. So we are now leaving the Ren Fair. We're leaving the Ren Fair now because our social battery is all the way to 0. Yeah. Yeah.
For like 2 hours.
We're leaving the Ren Fair.
2 or 3 hours.
Yeah.
We're done.
It doesn't take a lot.
No.
No.
The car ride mainly killed my.
The height of it was the fighting.
Yes.
So
Someone just died.
somebody did die. But
Yeah, I kind of killed it that we sat in traffic for 2 hours.
I know. And that part we did not get on video, but
Yeah.
we're gonna now cut to a week from now, us doing the show. So back to y'all. And we're back. Wow. Oh my gosh, that actually probably could have broke the table, but or the hammer itself. That bug was bouncing all over my arm.
I'll kill you.
But that was the little vlog that we did at the Georgia Ren Fair. Very cloudy day. I remember that too.
Yeah.
And as you can tell, I was dressed up as a pirate, which became a drunk pirate.
Because everything started slacking.
Yeah, everything was falling off. Dawson was
I'm Scottish!
a Scottish man. Katelynn was an elf, and Alyssa was a wizard. And that was all of our stuff, and it was pretty simple. We weren't like the outlandish people that you probably saw in the shots of the vlog. Hopefully I got some crazy ones, but there's a lot of stuff we saw that I did not film. But, you know.
I know you asked me about it, but how did you think about it?
Well, I went to... The reason why I was saying that Dawson's going to talk about his experiences is because I've only been to 2, and the first one I went to was this year at Helen. We went to the Ren Fair in Helen, and that was the first one I ever went to, but that one wasn't as much as the Georgia State Ren Fair was.
And we ran into furries.
Yeah, we ran into furries there, and we ran into furries at the...
Oh my gosh,
yeah,
so
we'll have to talk about that. But, yeah, I went to that one, and that one was okay, and then we went to this one, and I will say, and I said it to them, that, like, I'm not used to going to stuff like that, so I felt, like, very out of place. It was very different for me, because I'm so used to, like, acting in costumes for films and not in public, I guess, is the way that I would word it. But yeah, I definitely would. I would hope that I would get more like used to it if I kept going. But it was interesting to say the least. I remember I said it to Katelynn and them. I was like, we were going in there. I was like, oh yeah, it's gonna be cool. And then right after the sword fighting and night stuff, I was like, okay,
Yep. Okay.
I'm good. And then we walked around.
Beat the crap out of each other.
Yeah, that was fun. Yeah, y'all. I hope y'all loved that because that was fun to watch. Yeah, we had an interesting time of it. Now that was a week ago Saturday.
Yes.
It was last Saturday on the 1st of June. So if anybody wants to know when we shot that, because it was literally right after we filmed the last episode of the show. But yeah, it was a lot of a lot of interesting stuff that we saw. As you can tell, we didn't do that much. And you can probably see the soul come out of us slowly as you watch the clips. Yeah. I do know you talked about how
F you, bug.
the one kid liked your outfit, and then the other kid asked if you worked there.
Yeah.
Yeah, when we were leaving.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
And you were like, no.
No.
So, because we don't work there. We did get stopped and talked to by some people also. The guy with the stilts when we first came in there.
Yes.
Yeah, and there's a lot of interesting stuff there. Overall, out of your experiences at all of the ones you went to, what would you rate it out of 10?
Out of 10, I would give that one probably about a 6.
Okay.
It's pretty low because of the fact of it was super crowded.
Yeah.
Didn't really get to do a whole lot because of that, and it was just, I don't know, overall some bits felt a little rushed.
Yeah.
And then, of course, the traffic was
awful.
Yeah. So yeah, I would rate that one about a 6.
I'd probably say the same. Probably like a 5 or a 6.
It was not my best time going there.
No. And you've been how many times?
Oof.
A lot.
I would say roughly almost 20.
Yeah, sounds about right. I remember he went
maybe
to
more.
He went to a lot of them, and when I never went to them, I just always saw them going to them.
Mm-hmm.
But any funny experiences at the times that you've went
Oh,
to those
Lord.
Renaissance fairs? Tell the wonderful people.
There's a bunch. I can't remember a whole lot of them.
The only experience I really have is furries from the first one.
Oh my god.
So
the story behind the furries. So, when we were at the Helen Ren Fair, all of us, same group.
And it was freezing cold, mind you.
Yeah. Same group, all 4 of us.
Weren't dressed up though.
Me and Trace were not dressed up.
Yeah, they were.
Alyssa and Katelynn were dressed up. Me and Trace were not. Me and Trace were talking about it at one point, and Trace responded with the fact that he was like, I'm surprised I didn't see no furries. And I was like, I'm glad we didn't see no furries and whatnot. And we're like, yeah. And we're like, yeah, I'm glad there's no furries that come up here. And on the bus ride back down, we're sitting there and we're like, okay. And we're like, yeah, everything went good. Didn't see no furries. And we heard screaming. And we all looked to the left. And there is a truck full of furries, like staring into our souls. Just like,
wow.
As they were driving by, like waving at me and Trace were both like, no!
It's like, how did they know? How did they know we were talking about that?
And then at this Ren Fair, we brought it up again. We were like, hey, at least we didn't run into no furries this time like we did. And then we turned the corner, and there was like a group of furries walking towards us, and me and Trace both were like,
stand your ground, stand back. Yeah,
they're here.
It was funny because right when we said that, they just like kept showing up. Either if it was that or the same ones.
And then one point, we saw who they were, because obviously they got hot. And they were all like skinned alive, and all of their fur was on the ground and on a table, and all of them were like fanning each other, and we're like, they're dead.
Yeah, the furries are dying off. There was a lot of people, I was telling you, like they're walking like fashion models in there.
Oh my god!
It was so crazy. It was like, how can you even find a place to walk at all? There's that one moment where Death was walking behind you.
Oh yeah.
That was strange.
Trace said, "There's Death." I said,
huh? And you're like, well, maybe it's time for me to go.
I said, yep, I guess it's my time.
And Katelynn was like, no.
I was like, hey, how's it going?
Yeah, it was a very interesting experience, to say the least. But hope y'all enjoyed that little vlog segment there. We might do more of those when we go on certain escapades, and we'll tag y'all along. Why not? But now we're going to go into the experience of all of the different medieval things that we have talked about over the years. And also, the one, funny enough I say one because it feels like more, but one medieval setting film of...
Two.
What is the second one?
Highlanders.
Yeah, that one's... I guess when I think of medieval, I think of like the knights and stuff, but yeah. 2. We reacted to the Highlanders. That was way back last year, if you want to go watch that. But we've done 2. But the we've done a day of prayer also, and that was the most recent one that we did that has knights in it and Vikings in it, and the experience with that and all that stuff. And Dawson has come up with some ideas for medieval stuff over the years that we have not done yet.
Nope.
Including the duel, which we did a whole video talking about it several years ago.
Because after that video happened, all the people that we had planned to film with us started dropping like flies.
That happens a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're like, yeah, we're actually gonna do it, and then it was like, where's everybody go?
Yeah, and this is why I've always been like doing something that is not. I mean, I wouldn't say simple, but like with less people.
Yeah.
Because that has happened like 2 or 3 times now. And do we want that to happen again? No. So that's why I always like to take what we have and then like chop it in half.
Yeah.
And then it'll work.
And now there's actually an option to do the duel. It's
a shorter-ish version
to the
of it.
point kind of ordeal. You don't see as much as you do in
simple
the original.
version.
Yeah, it's a simple version.
I think, don't I, like, still, is it, I don't know if it was Frank or if it was me that was going to play the knight that you face.
I don't remember.
Because I remember we replaced him with me. Because you wouldn't see his face. You just see the guy.
It still might be you just to be the person that's there, but I know we... I think we swapped it to where you're the the bad prince instead of the brother. Yeah. Where you're the bad prince and Katelynn is still the princess. And it's
the sister.
Yeah, and you do then it's like the negotiation thing, and then it goes into the duel.
And that was almost 3 years ago. I believe so. Yeah, almost 3 years ago.
It's been a long time.
Yeah, we did that little video with our little suits on and everything, thinking that we were changing the world with our little film, you know.
Changing the world step by step.
Yeah, there you go. So we talked about doing the duel, and we've talked about doing all sorts of other things. Day of Prayer was a film that we did during COVID. It's weird to say that, but yeah, 2020.
COVID.
It was right when it started, and we did The Knight versus the Viking, and we plan on doing a sequel to that film.
Yep.
Funny enough, I remember when we talked about it, I didn't even know if it was going to be a sequel until Dawson sent me the list, and I was like, oh, this is going to be a sequel. So,
called Faith and Steel.
It's going to have more of an in-depth look into Tristan the Templar, who's not going to be called Tristan the Templar. I'm not going to say what his name is, so y'all have to wait. Y'all just know, it'll be revealed what his full name is.
Yeah.
Instead of just Tristan the Templar.
Yeah, right now, the name of it is called Steel and Faith, or Faith and Steel. One of the two.
I think it's Steel and Faith.
I think it's Steel and Faith. But, yeah.
We talked about, I mean, you could also even consider, I know it's more of fantasy, but you can consider Beowulf. Or the legend.
The legend, yeah. I mean, that's medieval.
It's medieval. Well, the people telling the story, that's medieval times. And it's a story. So, yeah, forgot about The Legend, which we reacted to 4 years ago almost. We did react to the film, but we also reacted to the reaction that Dawson's English classroom had to the film when I don't even think it was on YouTube. I think it was on YouTube when you showed it to the class.
I think so. Yes, because the intro played.
Yeah, well, yeah, that was he sent the wrong one. Yeah. I told him not to send that one, but whatever. But yeah, I think I uploaded it the night before.
Yeah.
And then, there was like basically pretty much a premiere in a way for that class, but I forgot about The Legend. Yeah, that's one that is set in medieval times. There's I'm trying to think of other ones. There's the
the Highlanders.
Yeah, the Highlanders one, which is set in Norway
in medieval times.
Yeah, and we talk about all that film in an episode that we did last year, and that was a very interesting film to make.
Yes, it was.
We talk about the struggles of making that one in that episode.
And there's actually a sequel to it.
Oh, yeah.
That's out.
which is not set in medieval times. It is set way after, like 600 years after, I'm pretty sure, after the events of the Highlanders.
Mm-hmm.
But the guy is from medieval times, not the restaurant, but the actual medieval times. Yeah, you take part in medieval times.
You see flashbacks.
Yeah, you see flashbacks in like one scene.
Which I think is so cool. Like when you're doing a sequel like that, you can actually like piece together. It's like these are the same characters.
Yeah.
And you're getting to like see the full roundness of it, where you see like the younger versions of us playing this, and then you got all the people that are from the old one, and you see glimpses of them, and you're like, oh, that's cool. And then you got this whole like story, and you're like, oh wow.
Makes the universe bigger
Mm-hmm.
when you do it like that. It's weird now because off camera we've been talking about ideas for stuff, and like I've noticed lately that we've had film ideas that link to other films that we've done, to where it's like, oh, this actually could be a sequel, and it's just weird that it took that long to figure out like, oh, this could be a sequel, and then it's great timing because it's like 5 or 6 years after we did it.
Yeah. Let us know if you want to see more of WNHON.
Yeah, WNHON, the trilogy can be completed with an epic conclusion of WNHON's story.
He fights vampires.
Yeah, and there you go. And then you can have the Johan Batolfson series.
Yes.
Yeah, with the origin. Stop flying around my nose.
There's the bugs.
There's gnats everywhere. And I sleep down here. But yes, the Johan Batolfson series. We talked about the Tristan the Templar. It could be a series, because if we do that sequel, and then if we do a third one, I'm gonna kill you.
Unless they all die in the second.
But yeah, so, yeah. And then we've talked about stuff. This has nothing to do with medieval times, but talked about finishing the trilogy of South Jardé. And we have an idea for that, and it is a very shocking ending, and we're not going to tell you because we've had that ending for such a long time. Mm-hmm. I'm pretty sure I think it was even before we did The Stranger, we had that ending in mind of where his fate was going to end, and then we were going to have, right after that, we were going to do the Michael Van Tye series.
Yes.
Off of the Path of the Jedi, because it was just another Jedi that we did.
And now, hello. But now, speaking of Star Wars, because we know that y'all like our Star Wars projects, it gets a pretty good amount of views. We have an idea. The script has been made for it. The title of it is called The Artifact. I'm not telling you what's going on with it. All I can say is it will be awesome.
Yeah.
So.
Do the best of our ability, as normal.
Yeah.
People will die.
People will die.
Like every film, people will die.
Somebody is going to die.
Yeah. You can almost guarantee every film that we do, almost someone dies. And then on the rare occasion, they don't.
Yeah.
Like the last film we did, and nobody died. You almost died. We saved your life. Star Wars.
Yeah.
Star Wars, A Fresh Start. We saved this man's life. And that's another series, too. We talked about doing the Jack series. Well, not even really the Jack series. It was the series of the Rebels.
Yep.
Whatever we're going to call
Crew.
them. The Smuggler Crew, yeah.
We're not Rebels. Smugglers.
Yeah. We're going to... to me, they almost make no difference when I think about them. But, we were going to give them a group name and then do a film series with them. I think I did write an idea down for a sequel.
Yeah, because the sequel was going to be called the something crew.
Yeah.
Whatever our crew was called.
Where Jack becomes a smuggler. Yeah, and we get to figure out more about Jack and who he is.
He's a stormtrooper.
He's a stormtrooper, and then we might get to see some backstory on that. I know we were talking about Star Wars, and then it's supposed to be medieval stuff, but hey,
we got off topic.
It happens. Is there any ideas that you can think of that you want? Because I know we've done so many.
I've got an idea. There's actually a script for it. I'm writing the script right now. There is it takes place in medieval times.
Look at my phone.
An idea that is called The Hunted.
Yeah.
And that is a cool film idea.
I'm not ignoring anyone. I'm trying to find ideas.
I'm not going to go into detail with it because if we do it, it'd be nice for y'all to.
It's somewhat based on Game of Thrones.
Yes,
Somewhat.
in a way.
In a way, yeah.
It's got its tendencies.
Oh yeah, and then there's the actual fantasy Game of Thrones film with the Paladin, Mage, Ranger, and Wizard that I found randomly. Oh, and I also came up with a Star-Crossed Lovers Romeo Juliet Game of Thrones film with you and Katelynn as the medieval version of Romeo and Juliet. Lovely stuff. Forgot about that one.
This is not medieval. This is further back in time than medieval, but we do have a film idea called Legionary's Dawn.
Oh, yeah.
It deals with Romans, not knights.
Yeah, not medieval. Close to it, though.
Roman Empire.
Roman Empire. I forgot about this one where, I wanted to do our own Indiana Jones and I called him Denver Andrews. I sent it to you like a while back. But I changed it to Xanadu.
Xanadu?
Because it's Denver Andrews is a renowned archaeologist and adventurer who has spent years searching for the legendary lost city of Xanadu. Rumored to be filled with unimaginable riches and secrets, he is joined by his loyal friend and pilot Jason Harrington, who always has his back in sticky situations. However, their quest is complicated by the arrival of Emma Harrington, Jason's estranged sister, and a cunning journalist who wants to expose Denver's shady past and claim the glory for herself. So the woman becomes the villain. The idea for that was not... That was not the idea. I had, like, characters written down, and then I sent it to Dawson. I'm like, this would be cool to do, like, our own, like, Indiana... I mean, we did Gavin Kaiser, obviously.
Yeah.
Which was sort of our Indiana Jones in a way. But this guy was supposed to... Because, Indiana Jones. Denver Andrews. Very similar. And that is the point.
And now we got the movie of Lost But Not Gone. That's like our Indiana Jones.
With Glenn Holloway as the Indiana Jones. This whole section right here, I know we're saying we're going to talk about the Renaissance Fair. This is just idea section.
Ideas.
This is idea section. I just saw the Lottery of Death film.
Oh yeah, that has the Green Dragon in it, doesn't it?
Not at the moment. I haven't wrote that one down yet. We're going to add that part into the Green Dragon. But this one's the film itself, where a woman named Ellie participates in a game show called The Lottery of Death, where she has to pick a number from a hat and match it with the one on a screen. If she fails, she gets killed. Yeah. And that's as far as I'm going to go. Because it spoils the rest of it.
Yeah. Then we had an idea where we were going to add the Green Dragon into it, where it was him trying to figure out where they're filming that show so he can intervene. Yeah.
And in that Legionnaires' Dawn film, Dawson is the lion. I didn't mention that.
I'm a descendant from...
He's the lion.
Yeah, I'm a descendant from Leonidas.
Yeah.
Because everybody is Romans except for me. I'm a Spartan. I'm from Spartan lineage.
I forgot about this one. I keep scrolling. We have so many of them on our phone. Especially, I have like so many all the way back from like 2016. But, like, I remember we talked about doing Stranded, which is a film about two men, Nick and Jake, who wake up in a forest with no memory of who they are or how they got there, and they find a note that tells them they're part of an experiment, and they have to find a way out of the forest in 72 hours or they'll die. We've done a lot of those. If you've noticed, The Drop Zone was one of them where he wakes up and he doesn't know where he is. People will say it's a cliche start to a thing, but sometimes it works.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm about to say a name to a film idea that it's been in the making for
There's a lot of them that have been in the.
years.
There's a lot of them that have been in the making for a really long time. Like the when you were telling me the Wolverine and Bigfoot, that's like that one.
It's also an idea.
Yeah, it is also an idea. Very funny when we first talked about it. But that was like 6-7 years in the making, that one is, because we talked about that one a long... That was supposed to be a Versus video, which is a hilarious Versus video.
I'm about to go back further than that.
Oh, fun.
Fall of the Redcoats.
That's a really old
That's
one.
an old one.
At the end of next year, that will be a 10-year-old idea. That's like one of the oldest ones.
Well, do I still want to do that? Absolutely.
Yeah, but at the at the time when we filmed this trailer, this trailer was like the Mummy trailer.
Cool.
It took us an entire year to make that because we had the idea. You had the idea in high school, and then we just did it.
Yep.
Finally, and then that took a year. So.
Yeah, I still want to do Fall of the Redcoats because I feel like it would be gory and epic. Oh yeah, I forgot I wrote this down, but The Return.
The Return, yeah.
That's like our version of Aquaman. Atlan.
I just saw this one. I don't even remember writing this one down. A scientist who invents a time machine to save his wife from a car accident ends up dying with her in the same moment he saved her, creating a paradox. I don't remember making that up, but I like it. I don't remember that.
We got the Wizard film that we've talked about before. We've got a new Wolverine film.
Oh, Kuga. Yeah, we got to talk about Kuga.
Riverflow.
Yeah. There's many versions of that one. There's many versions of that one.
We now have a Helldivers film.
Yeah,
idea.
I wrote that one down too.
Another just by itself, but a Bigfoot film. We don't have a name for it yet.
No.
We just got it wrote down as Bigfoot film. Bigfoot Firewatch film. Star Wars film, The Artifact. Another Star Wars film that would be awesome to do, but probably unlikely because of people. Stand Strong.
Unless we just chop it in half and rework it.
It's the Shore Trooper idea.
The Owl.
The Owl.
The Owl. Film series.
They're still in filth. Still in faith.
Yeah, still in faith.
High Up on the Mountains.
Oh yeah, High Up on the Mountain. Yeah, that's the Western one that I sent you.
Ghost film, which we've talked about this before.
That was like 2020 when we started talking about that.
Which it's a film about 3 friends that hunt ghosts, and over time, because they've been doing it for so long, they've gotten abilities. One can reveal ghosts, which is Trace's character. He can actually reveal that the ghosts are there, and he can he can reveal when the ghosts are there, and he also can feel the presence of them. One can teleport, which is Katelynn's character. Now it's Katelynn's character. She can teleport to places, and she can, if she touches you, she can teleport you with her. And then the other one, which is my character, can actually physically touch ghosts, so he can fight them.
Get sensual.
Yep. So,
Ghost babies.
say what?
Ghost babies.
Ghost babies. Silence, which is an apocalyptic film idea, which is kind of cool. There's The Hunted. Daenerys.
Yeah.
That's a thing. The Treaty. The Treaty is a chopped version of Daenerys. Oh, that's another one. Crosshairs, which is another Star Wars film.
There's 2 versions of that one too.
Takes place with a scout trooper. This is another old one, but it's been modified. Types of Friends.
Oh yeah, that one's almost 10 years ago. That's crazy.
X, the assassin.
X, yeah.
X gonna give it to you.
I just saw this one. I've a lot of mine are I started writing them down when the AI stuff started going crazy.
Mm-hmm.
But this one I wrote down. It says double crossed. 2 hitmen, Mike and Sean, and they'll only work for the same people, and each of them deliver a briefcase to the same address. When one gets killed, they realize they've both been hired for the same job. They must team up to discover who targeted them and why. Pretty simple.
Double-crossed. The Raven.
Yeah.
That's a good one. There's the Duel, Legionnaires Dawn. The Red Ranger film. Talk about that. A film called Fury Bane.
Yeah. Reaper Squad.
Very freaking dark.
Yeah.
It's Fury Bane. Oh yeah, Reaper Squad.
Reaper Squad just popped up on my phone.
It popped up on mine too.
Huh. Probably around the same timeline then. A Haunting film
A haunting
with
film?
Fred Jones.
Oh yeah. The take on the dark version of Scooby-Doo, basically.
Yeah.
This one is another Star Wars one.
I forgot about the Rabbit Man.
Oh,
The Rabbit Man.
yeah. This one is another Star Wars film called Last Stand. It deals with Senate guards. It's pretty cool. Oh yeah, our version of Iron Man, which is
Yeah.
instead of Tony Stark, it's actually two
Two
people,
guys in a garage.
yeah, that make a suit of armor. Yeah, Journey of Heroes.
There's so many.
Mm-hmm.
Like I've told Dawson and I sent it to him our 72-page idea list. That goes from 2015 to now.
Oh, yeah. Red Zeo, a treasure-seeking action-adventure short film about a story of how Zordon sends Tommy seeking out the Red Zeo crystal and him on his adventure trying to seek it, and then finds it and uses it for the first time to fight off people out to find the crystal also.
That also makes me think of the our version of the of that where that's the Power Ranger one, but the origin of the Red Zeo Ranger with Taro, the ancient Egyptian guy who was the first ever Red Zeo Ranger, the first guy to ever discover the Zeo crystal.
Oh yeah. Neverland. It's a good one. Oh yeah, the Batman Tall Tales series that we were gonna do.
Yeah, with our characters, right?
With us.
Yeah, with with us as well. Yeah, that's what I meant. Oops. Yeah, that's what I meant. You don't have as many as I do.
The Green Dragon, but you already kind of talked about that. Broken.
That's an old one. That's like
There's an updated version of that now.
That's like 2019. Yeah, because we've had I can't even say how many versions we've had because we've had so many versions of it. Because I remember the original version where it takes place an entire year, and
the original version was the origin.
it was kind of based on true events.
Yeah.
A little bit. Little bit. It was.
Yeah.
If you think about it, well, if we think about it, about how the girl breaks up with him and he gets depressed and he's like, I'm gonna go away.
I'm gonna go away. I'm gonna go clear my head.
And I'm gonna become a ninja.
Yeah, he finds himself in Japan.
Yep.
And all sorts of crap.
He must have got really drunk and just found himself in Japan, you know.
There's now an updated version, which is like borderline kind of like John Wick now. To where when they talk about the backstory of this character, we actually talk about the original film idea, because that is his backstory.
And there was many versions before that.
Yeah.
That we changed it to, like, she goes to college, and you show that's in the original, and she gets a new boyfriend or whatever, and there was you becoming Ronin. Yeah, there was that one, and it's weird because I feel like there was more, but there was a bunch that we talked about.
There's one to where we ditched the ninja idea, and it was basically like Green Arrow.
Oh yeah. The Green Arrow, or a guy that's like Green Arrow. It'd be funny if that was the Green Dragon.
There was another version where it was funny and it never even stuck. Like this was just a thought of like this could be a version, and it did not stick. But there was a version where instead of the arrow or the ninja or the Ronin and stuff like that, it was a more lighthearted one where it was actually him becoming a Power Ranger.
Yeah, I feel like I remember that.
And that one never stuck.
Because
it was like, the story is supposed to be dark and depressing.
Go, Power Ranger.
Yeah. It's like, the story's supposed to be dark and depressing. Let's keep it that way.
This is a depressing Power Ranger.
Mm-hmm. This new one, I don't want to say a whole lot to it because just in case if we do film it, which we could, it's just, oh man, it's so messed up. But yeah, this new one is, like I said, it's more on the lines of kind of like John Wick, where it takes place like years after of like what the origin is, and he's finally settled down with somebody, and then something happens, and then he takes his revenge.
Yeah, John Wick style.
John Wick style.
That makes you think we were talking
with
about
a sword.
With a sword. It just makes you think of like we talk about the original ideas of stuff. It makes you think of like that Into the Night, where the original was your girlfriend gets killed right in front of you.
Yeah.
That was going to be probably one of the darkest things we've done, where y'all are just like chilling, walking down the road, and then these like thugs just beat the living crap out of her, and she dies right in front of you, and then you like get depressed. But then we changed it to a nerd gets bullied, and then we went very lighthearted.
And then gets bitten by Dracula. There was supposed to be a sequel to that too, where my character actually fights Dracula.
Oh, no, sorry. One with the Night, Into the Night's the sequel. One with the Night's the actual film.
Yeah.
Oops. That's fine. It doesn't really matter.
It's the same difference.
It's just got involved the night.
Yeah.
Whatever.
But, yeah, there was going to be a sequel for that. That never happened.
It did not. It did not happen at all. Yeah, I just thought that made me think of that. I remember that original idea where like the girlfriend gets murdered.
Oh, the White Wolf.
Yeah, we did an episode on the White Wolf, and we did an episode on the Green Dragon last year, if y'all want to go check those out. And we did one on the Patriot. And I'm pretty sure the Green Dragon was the very last one that we did.
The Guardians.
Yeah, we did the Patriot with the Guardians also. Like we said because we do the polls and stuff, and we try to do whatever y'all want us to do. Well, we might do some where we go take a break from it, and we might do costumes, gaming, whatever. We might come back with one when Dawson has one to show and talk about. And I know we've talked about doing Legos too. We'd have to go to Dawson's house for that because he's got a whole city.
Shut up!
A whole city. So I know you're excited, but when I say a whole entire Lego city.
Speaking of excitement, we're not going to go into full detail on it because we want it to still be a surprise. Next video that gets posted after this one might not be a show video.
Yeah.
F off, bug.
Yeah.
Depending on editing wise.
Yeah. Well, as long as we get it done by the next weekend.
Yeah. Which we might get it done, but then, like how I've done before,
yeah,
finish editing.
Yeah.
The next weekend, but maybe.
It's pretty different than what we've done before, considering the fact that we haven't done a superhero-like film. That's the only hint I'm dropping. Superhero-like film based off of a somewhat of a DC, or not even just a DC, but a superhero character probably since Horrors of the Past. Because we basically, in a sense, dropped it, the whole...
basing stuff off of
We've
stuff.
tried... And technically, this is not... Like, this character is not from the comics. It's our version of the character from that universe, because he's got a different name, and...
Well, that's the whole thing about it, which it kind of goes with the story, is because these characters, they get chosen at random.
Yeah.
So it could be anybody, and that's kind of the cool thing about it. And you don't really get to see this version of these types of heroes
Yeah.
on like in live. You see them a little bit in the cartoons, and then of course you definitely see them in the comics.
Yeah.
But you see it a little bit in the cartoons, but you don't see it in live action. So
If you can guess what it is, comment down below.
try and guess.
But no, it's like, yeah, it's like I said, it's like our own. It's the Weather New Times Not version of the character.
Yes.
It's not like who the person in the comics is.
Mm-hmm.
So technically, it's still not
Yeah.
based off of anything I've read it.
Nope.
So.
It's just a character that's in this universe.
Yeah, and we've got a lot of those. Like we said, the owl. We've said a bunch of them. They probably do a whole entire segment if we wanted to of everybody that we've made up and junk. Yeah, there's just a lot.
There is a lot.
We had a lot of ideas, as you can tell. We went through a buttload of them. There's way more than just that one that we don't remember or do remember, and lots of versions of them. Speaking of superhero ones, I know we talked about doing a sequel to Steel.
Yes, we did.
Yeah, we did talk about doing that, and that one's not even really the Steel character.
No.
It's the Max Steel suit, but it's Steel, the Johnny Iron Steel from the comics.
Yeah.
That's not white.
Yeah.
But we just took it because at the time I was like, oh, that's Steel, but I didn't think, oh, this is a different. It's like this isn't G.I. Joe. Max Steel.
Max.
A little bit different. But yeah, there's a lot of ideas. I know we at one point we had a list of all the films that we could do sequels to or prequels to.
Yeah.
Which I don't even know if I still have that or not. It feels like a long time ago.
A lot of this feels like a long time ago.
It does.
Because we've been doing this show for a while.
Yeah, we've done it for 4 years. Yeah, this September will be 4 years. Yeah, that we've done the Weather News Times Not Shown. If you want to count Good Afternoon LJ as a part of the show, that was really
Long time ago.
like what was the starter, really, if you think about it. I've got this is wild to look at. This goes from films from 2016 to 2019 that I have written down on this, and I haven't added anything on this since 2019. A part 3 of Thrift Store Massacre, which we technically have already done the rest of that series. Steel sequel, we just talked about that. The episode 2 of Ninjak. Don't know what the crap. I don't even think we would do an episode 2. I think we would do an absolute like a film with a character that's like Ninjak, and not Ninjak himself. The sequel to VHS. Don't entirely know. I feel like I sort of remember what that was going to be like, but I don't at the same time. And then Star Wars Cardio Terror Episode 2, which we technically already did with Journey to the Past. That was the sequel to the Journey of Sal Jarde. And then we're going to do a whole trilogy of samurai films with the Power Rangers Samurai. And it was all going to take place at the primary school.
Oh, yes.
All 3 of them. And then we wanted to do an annual Street Fighter tournament. We wanted to do it every year. Which I think we knew that was physically not going to happen. So, you know, you can just think. It's just funny to look at this and like read them and the sequels, and it's like we've already done sequels to some of these. The Highlander sequel, which we already did.
The Hunter.
Yeah, we did it last year with the Hunter. A sequel to Aquaman versus the Talon. I remember that. Where Aquaman comes back to life and Superman saves his life.
Yes.
And there's like a whole entire storyline with that. The sequel to The Ninth Doctor versus the Red Time Force Ranger, where you turn into the Quantum Ranger and absolutely screw the Doctor up. And then the Doctor turns into another Doctor.
Yes.
Afterwards. The sequel to The Trail. We've talked about that one for a while. Where, because at the end of The Trail, if you haven't watched it, Van Helsing, Dawson's character, supposedly kills Slender Man But he sees a note, has a question mark on it, and it basically implies, is he dead? Or is he not dead?
Is he dead or is he not dead?
Which basically implies he's not. So, but there was gonna be a sequel where Van Helsing, it was gonna start right where it left off. I remember where Van Helsing is walking out of the woods, and that guy who didn't make it to the picnic shows up.
Oh.
And he's gonna be like, "What the crap is going on?" And then you like explain to him that they're all dead, and then he basically becomes your sidekick for the rest of the film because
they're all dead.
You basically just tag him along. A sequel. This is one that I've really wanted to do. A sequel to the Ben 10 versus video.
Oh yes.
Because that versus video at the end of it shows Percy Jackson and Jason facing off with each other. And I know for the sequel we wanted to do it still in high school, but when they're about to graduate from high school.
Yeah.
And then they, fight in the hallway again. And then I remember when we got out of high school, we thought of the idea of them seeing each other for the first time in I don't know how many years, and they're adults now, and then all the stuff starts coming back. Like, I didn't like you.
I did not like you.
And then they fight each other. Doing an episode 2 of the Drew Jackson Officer, How to Prevent a Burglary series. The how-to series with Drew Jackson. Sequel to In a Flash, which actually was supposed to be a thing, where the Flash faces off against Reverse Flash. That was supposed to be a thing. And we had a suit for it, too.
Yeah, we did.
We did.
Yeah, we did.
Silent Night sequel.
Yes.
Yeah, we actually were going to do a Silent Night sequel. Then that ended up turning into a requel.
Yep.
Like redoing it as another film. Not as a sequel. You get the point. If you know movies, a requel. Part 3 of, which we already did this one, of the Nightwing Red Hood Arrow. Basically the Arrow series. We've already done part 3, and that's Retribution. The goriest film in the series.
Yes.
It's great, too. The sequel to Operation Najad, which is going to be Brothers. But that film became something else.
Yes.
But Brothers, that sequel was supposed to be emotional.
Yeah, very, very sad.
And then we had an idea for a sequel that was going to be like Extraction, where the Michael Dawson, this is like several years after Operation Najad, where your character becomes like Chris Hemsworth's character.
Oh,
yeah,
yes.
That's what we thought of. Sequel to Ghost. We were going to do a trilogy with that, actually. With Malachi becoming the bad guy, eventually.
Yes.
And I would definitely not comb my hair down ever again for that. A possible sequel to The Wolverine, which we talked about that off camera.
Yes,
hilariously, and I love how it says possible.
Possible.
But the rest of them are, confirmed. One with the Night sequel, we've already talked about that. We just did Into the Night. Survive sequel. That one's one that I really want to do. Is a Survive sequel. And that one, we had it to where it was going to be, I think more of the people in that film were going to be women.
Yes.
Because the film was men. And we were going to have more women, and JJ and Maddie and all them were going to be in it. And Julian was going to show up, and then you kill Julian. And yeah, it was great.
You also off yourself.
I do, yeah. I feel like we were back and forth with that. Like we were going to do that, and then we were like, do we want to do that or not? Or, the sequel to One Chance. Yes. Second Chance, where he actually gets to fight the heavyweight champion. Because, once he won that tournament, fun fact, he got an opportunity to face the champion. And, a lot of crazy emotional stuff happens in that one. Yeah. You get a woman trainer, I think, in that one, too.
Yes.
And you fall in love with her.
Something like that.
What a typical Rocky.
Adrian!
Rocky thing. I don't remember this one. A sequel to Ranger. I guess I was just writing these down like we could do sequels to them.
Yeah.
Ranger, I guess, if you wanted to do one with Haldor.
Yeah.
Because, he goes off, and I think we talked about him meeting like a elvish man and giving the gold back or something. I don't remember. Sequel to The Lost Treasure. We did talk about that one.
Yes.
Where a guy y'all take the treasure to my friend's museum, and then the friend steals it.
Yes.
And then you'll have to try to get it back. And that one's going to be like a filler
It's
type.
like, oh my gosh, really?
Yeah.
Again.
This is happening again. Enemy Lines sequel.
Yes.
That because I think we're going to do like a whole interrogation scene with you as Winter Soldier and me as the Mafia guy. Honestly, could turn that into one of our own things without the Winter Soldier if we wanted to. Not redo it, but in the same essence. Hunger Games, we've been talking about that for a long time. Technically, the Drop Zone is our version of the Hunger Games, and we technically have already done it.
Yep.
In a way. Revenge sequel. I don't see that happening. I don't even know why I wrote that down.
He's dead.
Yeah, I don't even know. No, we did have a sequel in mind where you came back from the dead.
Oh.
Do you remember that?
Nope.
So, I remember after we did Revenge, welcome to our Finding Things Out for the First Time segment. I remember, and I think it was you that we both talked about it, but it was mostly you that talked about it, where your character, you wanted to do a sequel, I don't know if you wanted to, but we were talking about a potential sequel, where your guy comes back from the dead, and he meets up with the pastor and his daughter, and they're in, like, trouble with some other people, and you go save them, but it's weird because you're undead, you're not, I don't know, it was something.
Wow.
Just a reason to bring him back from the dead, I guess.
I was dead, now I'm not.
No, yeah. The sequel to The Contract.
Okay.
I could see it because he says, it's over there on whatever road, go over there, and then he walks off, and the sequel could be, he goes there, and do something else.
Shoot your character.
In the face. In the face. Sequel to The Legend. There could be many sequels to The Legend.
All the rest of the stories of Beowulf.
And all the rest of the stories of anything told by that man.
Bad.
Possible sequel for The House on Killian Lane. We had a lot of ideas for that one. Where the house... So, I had a really cool one that wasn't going to have many people in it. And I thought it'd be a very neat, dramatic, horror-esque. More horror than the original. Where, you know, if y'all have seen that film, the only people that survive are Dawson, Preston, and Maddie. Yeah. Because everybody else gets killed. And I talked about doing we talked about the theory of, like, you just not killing me, that I didn't kill those people, it was something possessing me to kill those people.
Yes.
And
supposed to be like some demon that was in the house.
And so they have the smart brain idea. One of them does, let's go back over there. And we were supposed to cover your house in, like, caution tape. Yeah. Because no one was supposed to go in there. And they go in there. Smart. And that was where we were going to debut the Fiend mask. And have the character of the Fiend, period.
Speaking of possession and demons and whatnot, there was a film idea that we had a long time ago that I still kind of would like to do because it's creepy but cool at the same time, where I actually play an angel that's undercover in a way, and I know you play a friend, but you were also the demon in the mask. But it was the whole girl that has the dream demon. Yeah. So. Yeah. Wasn't it the Christmas one? Yeah. Yeah. The Angel Christmas one. Yeah. It's supposed to take place during Christmas time. Yeah. But that film could honestly take place during any time. Yeah. We just thought it would be the original thing was you wanted it to be in Christmas. The last one on that list was sequel for Journey to the Past, but we already did that, so. Yep. Yeah. We were predicting I was writing stuff down that I didn't even know we were going to do. Yeah. But we did it. Angel one was going to be something insane. A lot of things that we come up with are insane. Yeah. A lot of things are insane. You gotta come up with ideas somehow. But that's gonna do it for us. We talked about the Renaissance Fair a pretty good amount. Probably not as long as we thought we would, but hey, it is what it is. Taking a break from the usual programming here.
And then y'all got to listen to us talk about all the different ideas that we've probably spewed out a billion other times in the past, pretty much. Because, you know, that's off camera. Me and Dawson talk about it too.
A lot.
Not like every conversation, but most conversations.
We talk about it a lot.
Yeah. So, just translating it here. If y'all want us to vlog more stuff for the Weather News Hammers or Not show, let us know in the comments down below. And subscribe, do all that kind of stuff. Leave a like on the video. We're going to come back. The next episode will be reacting to more Kamen Rider. There was a guy who sent me a playlist on Instagram the other day. We're going to react to all those videos. They're not very long.
Oh.
So, yeah, it's just a playlist of them. And we're going to react to those. And then we're going to watch the 7th episode of Kamen Rider Kuga. Yes. And it's going to be funny when we get to the very last episode. It's going to feel weird. Hopefully we make it that far.
I'm not going to be. Never mind. Forget that I said I'm not going to be. I'm going to be upset.
Yeah.
So
it's going to be a sad day. And then we'll move to Agato. Which will be... It looks like the beginning of it was more dramatic.
Yeah.
So we'll see. But we're going to be doing that in the next episode, so look out for that. Stay tuned. Leave a like on the video. Comment what y'all want us to do next here on the Weather News Hammers or Not show. Look out for a new video that is possibly going to be coming out in the next week or so. Not a show episode, by the way. It might come out between that. And subscribe to the Weather News Hammers or Not channel. We have just passed 680 subscribers. So we're getting close to 700. Thank y'all so much for subscribing and watching our videos, even though you hate the stuff that we do.
Oh well.
Awesome stuff. I mean, thanks for sticking around anyway.
Yep.
My name is Trey Sparks.
My name is Dawson Mullins.
We'll see you guys in the next episode of the Weather News Hammers or Not show. Bye-bye.